My name is Pamela Licon, and I'm a special education teacher.
We've been talking, now let's talk.
I've been teaching here for 10 years. I started in the pre-K classroom. I was a pre-K collaborative teacher. In the last 5 years, I've been teaching kinder.
Come and ride with me.
I was diagnosed in '98 with kidney failure. I started showing signs back in '95 where I played volleyball for Eastwood, and I had to get a physical. When I went to get my physical, they found protein in my urine. So 2 years after I graduated, I started feeling really sick. I was getting a lot of headaches here in the back of my head. So I went to go see a family doctor, and by the time I went, I had already lost 75% of my kidney function. He sent me to a specialist, and the doctor there told me that I was going to be needing a kidney transplant.
I got a phone call at about, 12:30 a.m. And it was my brother. He said, I need you to come to the hospital. And he said, Adriana's been in an accident. And I got to the ICU, and I asked for her, Adriana Cruz. And the lady said, she's upstairs in ICU. So my immediate response was relief. She's in ICU.
I got a call on a Sunday morning. At the end of the phone call, they told me that I need to get to the hospital because they might have a kidney for me.
My dad was leaning up against the wall, and I just looked at him, and he shrugged his shoulders, then he shook his head.
We kind of had an idea of where the kidney had come from. The only thing the doctor could tell me was that it was from a 29-year-old female who passed away in a motorcycle accident.
Somebody from Southwest Transplant Alliance asked us to go to a room with them. They said, we want to know if you would consider donating her organs. And we just looked at each other, and I looked at my dad, and he said, sí, no más, los ojos no, is what he said. And I looked at him, and I said, why? He said, porque tiene muy bonita la mirada.
She saved my life, and I don't even know this person. I don't know, and I couldn't even imagine what the family was going through at the time, where I feel like I'm celebrating because I have that second chance. I thought this family's in pain, this family's hurting.
I know that we made the right choice in donating her organs, and I don't think we ever questioned whether or not it was easy to make the decision, because my sister was such a loving and giving, beautiful person, and so we knew that she would have done it. I don't know that we've ever hugged that tight, and I think it's probably the very first time that I felt like my sister. I felt Adriana, but I could feel her. And it's been a very long time. No, yeah, you are. You really are.
Because I don't want to take anything for granted.
It was a beautiful feeling. Because the first thought was, she's in there. She's literally in there.
And I told him I was pregnant and it was going to be a girl, and I asked him if it would be okay if I named my daughter after their daughter, Adriana. She's 10 years old, and her name is Adriana Luz Licon. They made the choice to save somebody's life, and they've impacted my life very greatly. It's been 19 years since I've had my kidney, and my life has changed, and because of them, in those 19 years, I married, I went to school, I got my degree, I graduated with honors. I was Teacher of the Year here at Sageland. I had my baby, which I've always wanted, was to be a mom. And it's just, all of those things wouldn't have been possible if they hadn't decided that day to donate their sisters, daughters, moms' organs. Before my transplant, we wouldn't go to church too much. I was Catholic and I believed in God, but I didn't practice. And so now, after the transplant, I did see God's hand in it, in everything that transpired. I was supposed to get dialysis. I had the catheter. I was ready to go. And the day before my transplant, they called me to tell me that they had a kidney for me. And I was worried about being on dialysis, and I had prayed to God on that, and He answered my prayer. Not one day did I spend on dialysis because I got the transplant the day before my training. Another thing was when we found out who the donor was. My husband, Carlos, who is now, at the time was my boyfriend, and we went to the church, and I sat there crying the whole time. And I asked God, why me, God? Why did you keep me? And why did you take her? She had a family, she had a child, and I wasn't married. I was just going to school. And so I questioned it the whole time. And now I see that God has a purpose for me, and there was a reason. I still see God in this every day. I try not to take life for granted. And there are days that I'm sad, just like everybody else, but I try to think about what He's done for me and the blessings that I do have in my life, and where He wants me to go from here, because I know that there's a purpose for me being here. And I see that now. And I'm blessed for that.